for joining us on Olsem Wanem. On this show, we assess the current progress of youth development in PNG and also speak to the National Youth Commission about their 5-year plan and how that can empower the youth of this nation.
Established in 1997 as the National Youth Council of Papua New Guinea, the Council's primary goal was to fully involve young men and women in the social, spiritual, economic, political, and cultural development of the country through active participation in family and community life. The aim, similar to other youth agencies around the world, was to seek redress with the young people who were faced with challenges like unemployment, lack of basic education, and health, just to name a few. In 1999, the Youth Commission Act was made and policies drawn up, but nothing was implemented because of the continued changes done to the failing administration. It wasn't until 2011, when the current administration took over, that the National Youth Commission was revitalized, and this led to the implementation of existing policies and the creation of new ones.
Governments are addressing issue, but them kind of low, smaller scale, or kind of up where all not look lem and more look, but they got some up where kind of all not addressing fully this issue blow youth. All youths were kind of also all stop underprivileged or kind of all no got walking all around walking or rascal passing or criminal activities. This time was all no got walking. So how the problem was fixed them kind of government finding some ways which by including all youths, low sample area which kind of all specialized them because kind of all youths you got kind of youths some stuff. Maybe all got sample good something to walking, but just because peer pressure or kind of we all know kind of all behind him narapla ting to narapla go come all make some, but they got sample line we all kind of all line we all like cookie something all stuff. So time government and finding some opportunities so ways them involve you all and by looking this something inside the country but it's problem come down.
Okay. The purpose of the establishment of this office is unhalted, up to date. The purpose was to coordinate the youth activities in the country and to advise the government on policy matters relating to young people in the country. And well, over the years, this purpose for which Youth Commission has been established still sits, and the management, the administration have changed over time, and so I'm one of the new administration that came in, ensure youth participation in the decision-making process at the national level, also at the provincial level and districts level as well. I want to give you a classical example. We do not have a representation at the district budget priority committee. Now that the government has made its business to ensure youth development work as a priority, and so Youth Commission is now increasing its advocacy and awareness to the provinces and districts, telling them that youth representation must be at the budget priority committee. That's at the district level. And now the government is going rural. All the resources are going rural.
The Commission highlighted an important part of the plan is attitude. In order for young people to be given responsibility and be empowered, there has to be a change in their mindset. And the Commission has already created programs that will cater for this purpose.
The National Youth Commission is very excited about this mindset program. So they brought me also into this commission, hoping that I would be rolling out this mindset change program also at the Youth Commission. So I have done 2 already before I joined the Youth Commission. It was in Chimbu. The results are very amazing. The first group were a group of drug bodies whom they chose to come, and we trained them. So we, in the 10-day period, we changed them completely, and So now they are becoming a big people at home. It's three components. The first one is a phase of construction, we call it. You come in as somebody, you are made that way, yeah? So you are from Chimbo, you are from Kerema, or you are from Gulf, or your mother may be a civic mix. So you come with your construction, you speak this language, and you eat that kind of food, and you talk that way because of your genetic composition from your parents. So the first one is to look at our construction, how you are constructed. And then the second phase, a very interesting phase, is the deconstruction phase. So we're trying to destroy you completely from what you are made of. So we try to separate you. That's part of a psychoanalysis, they call it. So we try to break you apart into all you, what you are made of. So it's like, you know, you buying an aeroplane, and then you take it home and then you tear it apart. And then later you try to put them and build them again. So the final phase is called reconstruction. So it's a very interesting thing. So when students go through all that phase, at the end, they are completely changed. They feel that they are new and they have new ways of thinking, new ways of doing things, and so it's all a process of self-discovery.
This is Olsem Wanem. When we come back, we go global and see examples of what other international organizations are doing. Welcome back to Olsem Wanem. The World Development Report of 2007 states that the preparation of youth for work and life is very low. Education opportunities must be made more relevant to the needs of young people as learners and future workers, parents and citizens. We take a look at global examples with similar experiences faced by the youth in Papua New Guinea. The International Youth Foundation promotes learning. They say learning is about improving the academic performance, knowledge and skills of youth as the foundation for leading a healthy and productive life. An estimated 125 million children worldwide are not in school. One of their programs is the Nokia International Youth Foundation Global Youth Development Initiative. Here is an example in India.
To go to school I needed money, but my father won't give it to me. Whatever he earned went to his drinking habits. When I was working at the bar, my life was very difficult. I was often shouted at. I told myself that since I was not educated, I would get only these types of jobs. I have done so many things here. Before, I don't know what responsibility was. I was coming and going. After coming to this program, my responsibility has increased. I have learned so many things.
To date, more than 2,500 young people in India have completed the program, with 70% of graduates having either found jobs or set up their own enterprises.
Another example comes from the International Labour Organization, a specialized agency attached with the United Nations.
Everyone. Young people plus decent
One of their key issues is youth employment.
multiplier effect. Here's the formula minus the decent jobs. The result is 228 million young working poor plus 75 million young unemployed. So let's invest in the present for all of our futures.
Every day, hundreds of people line up outside the employment office in Lilongwe, Malawi, hoping to find a job. Many of them have come from villages far away, even on foot, trying to find work. There isn't much waiting for them here, especially for young people just starting out. Brian Shower lost his butcher shop 2 years ago because he couldn't raise enough capital to keep it going. Now he's waiting outside the employment office.
It is difficult to get employment. I've been coming here for 4 months looking for a job, but I haven't succeeded yet.
The ILO's report on global employment trends for youth says 70% of Malawi's young people are underutilized in the labor market. Surveys funded by the MasterCard Foundation and conducted by the ILO show that they are unemployed or just getting by in low-paying, irregular jobs. All the young people outside the employment office want to work. More and more of them see self-employment as the way out of a difficult situation, but to get there, they need education and training.
In contrast, we go to the other side of the globe, in Canada, a country which neighbors the United States of America. In the city Toronto, a program designed for troubled youths. They show how they turn their lives around through life skills and lessons needed for positive change.
Okay, so there's your 87. Okay. Now let's take a look at that.
The moment I knew I had to do something with myself was when I went to jail.
So when you think about this extra little bit, this 7%.
I can't always just blame things on other people and always, make excuses.
Here's a kid that most people would look at and think, criminal, young kid with his pants around his butt, and all that. No potential, on charges, no home, no food. Look at that. I mean, he was, he was stabbed once, and he's seen people murdered in front of him. I mean, he lived in a shelter. Like, that's a crazy life.
And seen 2 kids and just did what I did, and I caught for it.
These are the types of people, if you don't do something, become the 25-year-old, the 30-year-old, the 35-year-old with a criminal record that is 7, 8, 9 pages long, in and out of custody.
You need to develop specialized programs that get to these kids early. It can make a massive difference in our society by giving them the things that they don't have.
It's not just tinkering here and there. It's really taking a young person that's really involved in serious crime at 16 and trying to give them a positive direction to take them away from that.
So it's an opportunity to have all the resources at a critical time, a critical path in their life, when they're young enough to break the cycle and get them on the right path.
And that's where the PACT program provides something that just isn't available in any other program that I know of and isn't generally available in the criminal justice system.
Oh, the judge told me he's like I believe he said either do 6 months or go through the PACT program for a year and a half. And I said, yeah, I'll do the PACT program.
This is Olsem Wanem. When we come back, we take a look at some of the youth programs that are already established here in the nation's capital, one of which is the Urban Youth Employment Program, initiated by the World Bank. In Papua New Guinea, the government of the day is attending to youth unemployment through a pilot project called the Urban Youth Employment Project. This project, jointly funded by the World Bank, is implemented by the National Capital District Commission. Other partners include Republic of Korea, PNG LNG, and the Bank of South Pacific. Among the world's unemployed, young people have been particularly hard hit. According to a global economic symposium, youth unemployment rates are higher than adult unemployment rates in both developed and developing countries. That's why thousands of youth applicants jump to the opportunity to become a part of this special project. Piloted in Port Moresby, it aims to extend nationwide.
The Urban Youth Employment Project is the initiative of the government of PNG with the support of the World Bank. And the project framework, it links up to the PNG National Goal, or Go PNG Vision 2015. And it's also aligned with the medium-term development plan. It's also derived from the National Youth Policy in establishing the project. Just by way of background, the Urban Youth Employment Project objective, it provides disadvantaged youth in NCD with temporary income opportunities and to increase their employability. There is a secondary outcomes. We are targeting the disadvantaged youth or marginalized youth in the city. We're looking at reducing participant in crime-related indicators, and it also improve maintenance of infrastructure in the city. Number one, it's a youth corp job, and it comprises of youth identification. That's when we go out and screen all the applicants. At the end of that, we provide a basic life skills training. At the end of the training, they sit for numeracy and literacy test. That's optional to all the youths because, as you're aware, some of the youths are illiterate. The second component is skill development schemes. It consists of two pre-employment trainings, one for business services and the other is the industrial technical. We provide 20 days in-classroom training. We have to find a placement for them to be placed on the job training for 5 months. To date, we have 140 of these youths that have graduated from the PET that are on the job training. All the youth were Yupla Rimsla program. This program and program Bla Yupla. Thank you, government of the day, the honorable government, and the NCDC and the World Bank. Lo look save lo and Arim Cribe Bla Yupla. Long history lo PNG. This is the first time where government am thinking Yupla the young people. Nam seems la loan long helping Yupla. This la project and Bla Yupla. Now how long enroll this la project? Mipla got one bla all team line will say come out all the settlement. Na games la talk sabe that by got screening or application Yupla come na ball interview Yupla lo participate la program. This la program am targeting Yupla all the disadvantaged youth, I should say, where Yupla no at work, Yupla no start lo school, Yupla stop nothing lo street, and this la project and Bla Yupla.
The concept is quite simple. What the partners and World Bank want to do is take urban youth in the National Capital District and give them training, basic skills training and workforce type training. So the youth tend to be youth from the National Capital District that are either underemployed or underskilled. And the goal is to take those children off of the streets and give them some skills and reemploy them back into useful endeavors. What the World Bank is trying to do is give them the time management skills, the personnel management skills, the basic work ethic type mentality that any successful worker anywhere in the world is going to need. That's what we're trying to help instill in the youth. From the feedback that I've gotten, it's been pretty successful. At PNG LNG, we take education as our signature focus when it comes to corporate citizenship and community development. We want people to understand that growth depends on education. So with the Urban Youth Employment Program, one of the reasons we joined it is because of the education piece.
Only drunkards, all alcohols, not regarding Muslim or street mangi, regarding inside the community na society. Na mibla educating all, mibla training all, na multi all come up somebody inside the future all. Na thank you long contribution where you've been working, where you come inside na mibla looking me effort mibla, and very good. Turn up mibla very good. Na work me long 40 days in Yoba. The next step management is stop. Look forward long Yupla long go long Samla go long Ferasadi, you go long pet, you go long next step, and then Yupla finding work better job behind. Now look at the family, Blayat, Papa Mama, now Samla blame you say Mara you missed inside work one time. So time you go next better job, by Yupla carrying bread butter Blay come now sell bakage.
Mipla go school or this last school, Mipla line planti something. La school go na molto, Mipla go work na. Mipla finish molto after lo this time. Mipla go lo school, but sampla la go school or go school, sampla la go job training or go job training. But big plus something Mipla la go school na kisi mo educate.
Me being Star was a street mangi, me run on Star was a street mangi go na. Sama will talking about go school or Wanem. CLTC lo, wajenis, go school now. Me go line, me stop and go making OJT, on job training. The on job training go na 2 months in the abso. That I'm like graduate now. Planning bigger something beside the work, come early the work, bathe, come meet, tidy, no gun. Mila to thank you, lo pois pago na ugara government will support this la fane. Thank you, Strat.
You have a bright future. Planning lo you place it down here. You have future leaders inside the church, inside the community where you place up long And one day usat sabe, one place iran lawyer, maybe a prime minister. That's correct. This is a project, it's a pilot project by the government. And if it's successful, it will roll out to other provinces as well. And to date, since we started, there was a delegation that came from Medang on a fact-finding mission to find out more about this project. And even there was one from Medang as well, from Leh actually, in Morobe. They want to adopt just not all the component of this project, but part of it, because they found it more interesting and exciting.
You're watching Olsem Wanem. When we return, more from the National Youth Commission. You're watching Olsem Wanem. In April this year, the National Youth Commission hosted the 8th Commonwealth's Youth Ministers' Ministerial Meeting, which played a pivotal role in strengthening their efforts in ensuring that the programs and projects in PNG are on par. It also gave them the opportunity to assess themselves with their counterparts from the Commonwealth nations.
The success of the Commonwealth Youth Ministries meeting event is proof that the revitalized National Youth Commission means that most of what the youths have missed out on in the last 10 years can now be realized. With proper planning and infrastructure and the inclusion of the provincial and district levels, the Commission is positive that outcomes will be beneficial and sustainable for the future generation.
The Commonwealth Youth Ministers meeting was the first of its kind in the country. And well, a lot of agendas have been deliberated at the ministerial level, at the senior officials level like myself, and the young people themselves. And so among those very important issues or deliberations have been done, which now we feel that we belong to a larger community, and we at a global level, at the regional level. And so that feeling itself has got an impact into the kind of activities that we are doing. The theme of the meeting was young people at the center of sustainable development. A couple of issues being discussed. One could be the voicing of young people's concerns in the decision-making processes. That was one concern being taken on board by the ministerial meeting, and also shown concern by senior officials as well. And so they would like the young people to have their participation in the decision-making process. They would like an increased advocacy in their participation. And in our response to this issue, our government has prioritized youth development work already. That is a clear demonstration of our government commitments to ensuring youth participation and decision-making processes. Their concerns are heard at that level.
What we are trying to do now is to build capacity from Waigini and roll it down to the provinces. Okay, to do that, we have two major programs running. One is the establishment of youth councils in the provincial, at the provinces and down to the districts and even to the ward levels as well too, LLG and ward levels. Okay, that's through that network which we want to channel the youth services, and then to assist them have a place of contact, a point to call their point of contact is what you call, we have come up with a project that is National Youth Friendly Center.
That's all we have time for on this edition of Olsem Wanem. Next week we will feature a Q&A discussion concerning government accountability, communicating with the public. How can people ensure accountability? Until then, take care. We'll see you next time on Olsem Wanem.